What's up, everybody? For those of you who just happened to stumble across my page or this video because of title or whatever else, my name is Josh Chisholm. I am a natural men's physique competitor in the NPC. I am beginning today a 13-week prep for junior nationals. I know that when I first got into bodybuilding, I learned a ton off of YouTube videos and things like that. And hopefully I can contribute and kind of give back to others that were in the same place. As far as myself, I got into the competing world because I played college baseball. Loved the training aspect of everything, and even the nutrition aspect of all of it as well. Once baseball was over, I had kind of a competitive void to fill, and I always kind of like to look good as well. So the bodybuilding thing was just kind of a natural transition. It took me a little while to find it, to kind of figure out how to go about competing, and that there were local ways to do it where I was at the time. But when I started getting into it, it just made perfect sense. I do have an exercise science undergraduate degree. And I have, several training certifications in the past, in and out, and also a nutrition certification in sport nutrition at one point, which I actually did enjoy very much getting that. As far as my contest history, I began in 2013. My very first show was Daytona Beach. I won my class. It was a little smaller show, but I did win my class. Went into the overall and lost to a guy who was much fuller and had a little bit more definition and size for his frame than I did. But I had a great time, great experience, and then went on a month later to do a little bit bigger show and didn't fare quite as well. Since then, I've competed in several bigger shows. Had not placed as well as I'd liked up until this past year. I did a qualifier last year in May. I did the Battle on the Bluff in Tunica. Great show, by the way. If you guys get a chance to do that one, it's a great show. But I got second in my class in that one, so I was nationally qualified. I had initially thought I was going to take some time, and wait until this year to get on a national stage. I had begun at this point doing some coaching, which shameless plug there. If you're interested in that, shoot me a message or shoot me an email. I'll put that in the comments below. But like I said, I was getting involved with some coaching. Had some athletes was only coaching one athlete at the time, and he had some success, and it just kind of drove me to really want to get back on stage. So I picked the national show in Miami. So I went down there and actually ended up getting 8th in my class. And this past year. Or the end of last year and the beginning of this year is my first actual real off season where I've really committed to to putting on some size and developing weaknesses and that type of thing with real focus versus just kind of taking a break or whatever. So I'm looking this year, hopefully to go to Chicago and slide up a few spots and hopefully get a pro card. I am, as far as some of my philosophies, I am a flexible dieter. I count macros, and that does allow me some flexibility with what types of foods I eat. I have some variety with my diet. Most flexible dieters, we post things on social media and whatnot where we're eating Pop-Tarts and things like that. But that doesn't mean that's what we eat all the time. It's just not as exciting, to see our chicken and vegetables and rice and things like that. But we, typically you have to eat that type of thing to fit your macros, and I'll go into that a little more as this prep goes on, as I talk about nutrition and supplementation, all that kind of thing. As far as training philosophies, I do like compound movements, and then followed by accessory movements and that type of thing. I like hitting weak points multiple times weekly and that type of thing as well. Constantly stimulating growth, even in a deficit, to prevent losing that muscle as you diet down. As far as cardio is concerned, you'll see I try to minimize cardio as much as possible. There gets to a point where it just has to be done, and that's fine for most people. Some people can go a whole prep without doing very much cardio at all and get shredded, which is a real blessing. But that's, that's never really been me. I put cardio off until, I absolutely need it, as a tool, because I don't want to be doing cardio the whole prep and then not have that tool to use at the end. But again, I'll kind of go into that a little more as this goes on. Supplementation, just a brief outlier or a brief summary of that. I am sponsored by NutriShop Bellevue. Good situation there. I recommend different supplements, for different needs and that type of thing. I definitely take protein shakes, all year long, and that's based on my diet and the fact that I, need protein, and I'm not going to be able to eat all of it because it is a pretty significant amount. There are several other things that I take, and again, I'll kind of go into that as this prep goes along, and the explanations for why and the science behind them. Typically, if I can back everything, with some type of study or even maybe some anecdotal evidence, I will. But ultimately, I like to be able to provide some scientific reason for why I do most things that I do. So that's something that I'm excited about. So I am hoping that as this goes along, I get more comfortable with the camera, better at presenting what I'm trying to say or do. I think that will definitely happen. And then obviously with workout videos and that type of thing, and then maybe cooking videos, that type of thing. So definitely lots to look forward to here in these next 13 weeks. And I do want to give back as much as possible and share what I can with anybody who is trying to learn what it takes to compete, and if that's something they want to do, or if they've already committed to it and they need some guidance or whatever like that. I'm hoping that I can kind of provide that. If you have any questions or anything like that, or any topics that you'd like for me to address or whatever, post those below in the comments, and I will be happy to either reply with something, or maybe even do an entire video, or even a series of some sort if it's something that requires a lot of explanation or discussion or whatever like that. So I think that's all that I have today. I just got finished with a back workout. It's actually time for me to eat again. Again, flexible dieting, I will kind of eat based on my schedule. I don't do like intermittent fasting or anything, where I go a long time without some type of, anabolic stimulus, via leucine and that type of thing. So I do eat pretty regularly, but it's not like a 6 meals a day type thing or whatever like that. So it's more just based on schedule and timing and working out and all that type of stuff. So again, I'll go into that, as the prep goes on and all that. If you're not following me on Instagram, which you probably are, because that's probably how you know about this video, but if you're not, it's ChisholmJT_physique. If you, let's see, yeah, I guess that's the only thing right now. I mean, I have Facebook, but I use that for other stuff too. So, yeah, check me out on Instagram. There's gonna be lots of workout videos throughout this process, and then I will actually take the camera in the gym some and, kind of go with that, during the workout, that type of thing, kind of bring you guys through that. So again, any questions, any comments, anything that you'd like to see or know or whatever, post those, and I will definitely read those and then, address those in here. Like I said, I'm looking forward to this, and, thank you guys for coming along the ride.